So glad you all could be with us today as we're continuing this series in When Life Hurts. I've invited a special guest to come and share with us today. You know, a psychologist knows something about people's walking beside people during those painful, challenging parts of their life and chapters of their life. And a psychologist who is also a pastor and a spiritual director is even better equipped for that journey in assisting us. And I have a man like that in my life who has had a profound influence upon me. He and his wife have had a profound influence upon Kathy and I as they've been training us and teaching us in how to walk more closely with Jesus, how to understand Him more fully, how to truly become the kind of people who respond as Jesus would respond. And so I'd like for you to welcome with me this morning Dr. Bill Gaultiere here to Journey as he comes up. So I just wanted to, so glad you're here today, Bill, and you got your mic on and all of that's good to go?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right.
Good morning.
So this morning, I wanted to kind of, by way of introduction, ask you a couple of questions and allow you to respond so that these folks can know a little bit of why they're hearing me quote you so often. And so this is that Bill that I often quote in my messages. You know, I have a lot of friends who are psychologists, and however, I've heard you say something that I don't think I've ever heard any other Christian psychologist say, and that is that you truly believe no matter what problem or challenge we're facing in our life, and you've seen, scores and scores of people struggling. You oversaw a huge counseling center, trained thousands of hotline volunteers, but through the years, you've seen a lot of pain in the lives of others, and yet you still believe, and you say that Jesus Christ, enthrallment with Him, and knowing Him, and desiring Him, really is the answer to every problem that we have. Did I get that right?
Yes.
So would you elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah, and that's why we're talking about when life hurts, Jesus is enough. Paul says that in Christ are hidden all treasures of wisdom and knowledge. And of course, He's the Son of God, and God is love, and love is what we need. So, I understand discipleship with Jesus as a relationship, an interactive relationship, a process, a journey, and so there's a lot of things that can be a part of that, including taking medicine and seeing a doctor, certainly talking with a pastor or a psychologist to deal with the hurts and challenges in your life. So I understand discipleship to be a very robust process of seeking Jesus and holding His hand and learning from Him as I'm doing whatever I'm doing. And so I really do believe that our walk with Jesus is the one thing that we need. Has many expressions, many aspects, but that's how we really grow and change.
That's great. And of course, I've learned and seen you live that out in your life, and your love for Jesus, your enthrallment with Him, your love for His Word, and particularly this series we're basing in the book of Psalms. And of course, I remember learning very early on in my friendship with you that the book of Psalms has played a huge role in your life. I mean, you've memorized so many of them. I understand you spent several years meditating upon them, journaling. So could you talk a little bit about how the Psalms in the Bible have really helped you in your journey, both personally and as you're helping others in a way that might be of value to all of us here today?
Yeah, well, I turn to the Psalms because I'm not very good at prayer. and I need a lot of help. And, of course, I've been a Christian over 40 years. And I've known the Psalms and prayed them, all that time. And as I've gone to the Psalms, I've just seen, what great prayer masters David and the others are. But a number of years ago, about 10 years ago, in the beginning of a great spiritual renewal in my life, one of the things that the Lord did was He led me to do an intensive school of prayer in the Psalms. And so for 3 years, I prayed through the Psalter, all 150 Psalms, every 2 months on a rotating cycle for 3 years, and memorized many of those Psalms just to get those rhythms and patterns of prayer inside of me. John Calvin says that the Psalms are an anatomy of the whole soul, all the different feelings, and that's why this series is so great. When life hurts, turn to the Psalms, because whatever you're struggling with, whatever we're experiencing, there is a psalm to help us pray in that time and connect with God. So, even to this day, I'm not currently doing that program of going through the whole Psalter every 2 months, but there's never a day that I don't pray one of the Psalms, usually one that I've memorized, and I meditate on it. I sing the Psalms in the shower. I'm not a very good singer, unlike Colin, who was so nice leading us in worship this morning. But hey, the Lord appreciates my voice because it comes from my heart. So the Psalms are powerful to form us, and Jesus himself learned to pray from the Psalms. So.
Excellent. One other thing, a great impact you've had on me personally, Bill, is helping me cultivate and live in an awareness that Jesus is at work in every situation I step into in my life. He's already there. He's already at work. And for me to develop that consciousness changes the way I experience those moments, moment by moment throughout my day, and actually helping to train me to be aware of him. And so you've been kind of guiding me, counseling me in preaching to be, instead of being focused on how am I doing in delivering this message and how am I coming across and am I connecting with the people out here, you've been encouraging me to be praying as I preach. Jesus, what are you doing? How are you connecting? And how can I join you in that? And in fact, you've helped me change the way I preach dramatically, less dependent on notes, more dependent upon God's flow within me. And the real amazing thing that's just happened in the last month or so is you've been the guy coaching me to be able to keep my messages down to about 30, 35 minutes. So you guys want to thank him for that.